there's something Jenny has to get off her chest about Christmas Eve. What is it?
Yeah, I want to know that as an adult, do you have a Christmas Eve box? Now, I never knew this was a thing until I saw people talking about it on Facebook. And then you go into these card shops and they've actually got a box that's got Christmas Eve box on it, and you just fill it with things that you think would be quite nice to have on Christmas Eve, like festive pyjamas, bath bombs, bubble baths, smellies, that sort of thing. Maybe a little bottle of wine or something, I don't know. But I'm thinking, do you have a Christmas Eve box? Who has a Christmas Eve box?
Now,
I'd love one.
The cynical part of me looks at this as, this is a way of flogging more tats. Somebody has looked at this and gone, you know what, we're not making enough money out of this Christmas stuff, we need to flog more Christmas stuff. And they've looked at that and they've gone, the best way to do it is to have a thing where they give presents on Christmas Eve. But I also understand that it is a tradition in places like Germany, if I remember correctly, to open the presents on Christmas Eve, not on Christmas Day.
That'd be weird, wouldn't it, for us?
Although if you're talking about Christmas traditions, you could go all Orthodox Christian and celebrate Christmas in the New Year. That gets really confusing.
Yeah.
So you talk to people from that part of the world that go on Christmas break. They're talking about January. You're talking about December. Right? You'll miss each other. So I can't say I'm totally sold on the Christmas Eve box thing, but I get the impression, based on what you're saying now, you really, really want one.
I fancy one, but I like it to be like a few little chocolates in there, maybe a nice bath bomb, and I love the thought of festive pyjamas.
So you've got festive pyjamas, you've got bath bomb things, but the one thing that you need to be doing on Christmas Eve...
And a Prosecco.
Okay, so you're basically asking for all your presents that you would have had on Christmas Day to be done on Christmas Eve, and I assume you don't want to give them the presents on Christmas Day.
No, I don't want to get rid of my Christmas Day presents.
So you want double the presents because you got to... Yeah, whereas... If you're trying to be practical with it, there is one thing that you need to do on Christmas Eve that you can't do on Christmas Day, because if you do it then it's too late. And that is start preparing the Christmas dinner.
Well, that's right. That's what my mum used to do. Get the turkey cooking at 5 p.m. Christmas Eve, ready for midday the next day.
So in that Christmas Eve box will be a turkey baster.
Yeah.
It'll be tin foil.
Yeah.
It will be Brussels sprouts. It will be a pot. And we're not just talking about any pot. We're talking like a proper pressure cooking pot.
Oh, wow.
That only gets whipped out at Christmas and special events.
Yes. Would you have... you couldn't fit an emergency chair in your box, could you?
This is turning into a shed at this point.
It is.
You're just going to take the garden shed.
Yeah, Christmas Eve shed.
Wrap it in Christmas wrapping paper and say Happy Christmas to you. Here's your Christmas Eve present.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on board with that. I think we can make that happen. The only problem is, if we're going to do the shed for that, is I don't think there's enough wrapping paper for everyone to go out and do that.
That's true.
Yeah, so we might need to find something else to wrap in. We'll figure that out. I don't want to alarm you, dear listener, but I have been on the internet. And no, I'm not looking at that sort of thing. Get your mind out of the gutter. I have been looking at Christmas Eve boxes and the things that apparently people have been putting in them. Some of the popular ones: family board game to play in the evening.
Oh, wow, yeah.
A set of pyjamas they can wear on the night and into Christmas morning.
You see what I'm talking about?
Hot chocolate in a festive mug.
Yes.
Bubble bath before bedtime.
Love it.
A Christmas film or festive book to read.
Oh, excellent.
Some Christmassy sweets or chocolates like coins and candy canes.
Yes.
Treats to feed the family dressed up as reindeer food.
Oh, wow.
That's an even older tradition, the idea that you put out the mince pie or the carrot and Santa has a nibble of them.
Yes.
No wonder he's so chubby if he's nibbling at every house.
Does he drink the milk or is it whiskey? What does Santa have? Does Santa have milk? Can you get done for being drunk in charge of a sleigh?
Imagine if Santa was lactose intolerant.
Oh.
It'd get a bit more horsepower out the sleigh, that's for sure. And a personal letter from Father Christmas reassuring the child they're on the good list. But if I was to do that, and I'm sorting out a Christmas Eve box for a child, and you could put this...
Not me.
You could put this letter in saying, Father Christmas, he knows you're on the good list, you are going to get presents. I wouldn't put that as a letter. I'd put a letter saying, Santa Claus, be having a look at what you've been up to this last year. There's some good stuff, there's some bad stuff, but if you want the good stuff, the presents to turn up, and not a lump of coal, even though that'll keep your family going, it's actually quite a good gift nowadays. But if you don't want that lump of coal, you better get your ideas sorted out overnight. You better sleep well.
Mark,
It's a bit threatening, but I think that's the path I would go down.
there's some brilliant ideas you've come out with there. Can you just keep some of those in mind?
Any particular reason?
For me.